This is how I make the most delicious chocolate samosas. They have a melting double chocolate ganache center, and each flaky samosa is tossed in cinnamon sugar.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sanjana, and this week I'm going to show you how to make the best chocolate samosa. For this recipe, I wanted to go down the road of churros vibes, which I absolutely love, and I really think that the texture of the pastry of samosa lends itself so beautifully to this kind of churros flavor and incarnation. So what I've done is I've tossed my finished cooked chocolate samosa in cinnamon sugar, just as you would if you were to be making your own churros and hot chocolate, and the results are so phenomenal. It just makes for the ultimate Indian dessert.
Let's start by preparing the chocolate ganache filling for the samosas. Place some dark chocolate in a medium heat-proof bowl. This is 70% cocoa. Pour some hot double cream over the chocolate and allow it to sit for 2 minutes. Begin to gently stir the chocolate and cream together to combine it into a smooth and silky dark chocolate ganache. Set your dark chocolate aside and then repeat this process with white chocolate. Due to the lack of cocoa solids in white chocolate, much less cream is required. Once your 2 types of chocolate ganache are ready, start dolloping them onto a tray lined with baking parchment. Go for small teaspoonfuls to make filling the samosas really easy. Once chilled, these are going to set hard, and that is going to make the filling process really easy. We'll refrigerate these until we're ready to use them. To make the pastry, place some plain flour into a large bowl or plate suitable for kneading. Add some salt and give everything a quick mix. For the crispiest and flakiest pastry, add some oil or ghee. Using your fingertips, begin to rub the flour and oil together to create a fine breadcrumb-like texture, as if you were making a short crust pastry. This process inhibits gluten formation by coating the flour in fat. Ultimately, it will produce a dough that is light and flaky like a pastry, as opposed to a chewy bread dough. When you squeeze the flour together like this, it should come together as a mass and crumble really easily. That's when you know you're on the right track. Add in water and a small amount of lemon juice, which will keep the pastry ultra crisp. Now knead for about 5 minutes until you have a soft and smooth dough. Cover the dough with a damp tea towel and allow it to rest for about 30 minutes. The next thing we need to do is to divide our dough into portions. Here's a quick and simple method for doing just that. Smooth each portion of dough between your palms and cover them again with a damp tea towel to stop it from drying out. Using some additional plain flour, roll out your first piece of dough to about a 5 or 6 centimeter round. Repeat this step for another piece of dough. In order to make these pastry sheets as thin as possible, we're going to use the bar method. Brush the dough very lightly with some oil, sprinkle over a small amount of flour, and pop another circle of dough on top. With the 2 circles of dough sandwiched together like this, we can ensure our pastry is going to be super thin. Use a light touch to roll up and down a couple of times. Once you get more confident with this process, you can stack up more circles of dough. Once the dough measures around 7 or 8 centimeters, we are ready to cook. Cook these in a non-stick pan over a low heat. Don't let them brown on either of the sides. The dough should cook and turn white on the surface just enough so that you can peel them away. Once they're cooked, pop them inside a dry tea towel to make sure they don't dry out. Let's prepare some more samosa sheets using this method, this time using 4 circles of dough. Once you have all of your samosa circles ready, cut the stack in half so that you're left with semicircles. It's a good idea to keep them stacked and wrapped tightly so that they remain soft and pliable. Now let's fold our chocolate samosas. Take one semicircle of samosa pastry and place it in front of you, straight line at the top. Hold the upper right corner and fold it downwards towards the middle of the pastry. Then spread some sticky flour paste on the outside of the folded pastry and repeat the same fold from the left-hand side, sticking the pastry down to form a cone shape. Then press the seam together to ensure the pastry is well sealed. The sticky paste is just a mixture of plain flour and water. Now fill the samosas with some of your set chocolate ganache mounds. You can make them all with one type of chocolate or mix it up for a marble effect. Apply some of the flour paste to the exposed edge and then press it together to seal completely. Make sure you press any air out as you go along. It's really important to make sure these chocolate samosas are well sealed, otherwise that filling is just going to ooze out all over the place. And there we have our first chocolate samosa ready. Repeat this process for all of your samosas. Place the samosas on a large tray and cover with cling film. Freeze these for about 4 or 5 hours or until they're solid. This is a really important step, please don't skip it. Heat some vegetable oil or any cooking oil to about 180 degrees Celsius. Very carefully, minding your fingers, drop in all of your frozen samosas one at a time. Cook the samosas turning gently. They'll take around 60 seconds to cook perfectly. Try not to keep them in the oil too long because the longer they're in there, the more likely it is that they'll leak. The reason why we need to freeze them first is to ensure that the filling melts gently and slowly and the outside cooks very rapidly. Once your samosas are perfectly golden, lift them out of the oil and place them on a plate. Please don't attempt to bake or air fry these samosas. If you do, you're going to end up with a mess just like I did. The finishing touch is a cinnamon sugar coating. Toss the samosas in the cinnamon sugar. This provides a hint of spice and such a delicious crispy crunch to finish. It reminds me so much of churros. Serve these immediately and be careful not to burn your mouth because the chocolate ganache inside is so hot and gooey. Just look how crispy this pastry is. For an amazing party dessert to share, make a chocolate samosa sundae or sweet chat as I like to call it. Assemble it right at the last minute, break some of the warm chocolate samosas up, top with fresh raspberries, mango, ice cream, chocolate sauce, nuts and sprinkles. It's a little bit wild, but it tastes absolutely delicious and it's going to be a hit at any party. Enjoy this recipe, don't forget to subscribe and let me know which style of samosas you'd like to see me cook next.